Croeso. Welcome to Ysgol Rhiwabon's online open evening. My name is Melanie Ferran-Evans, head teacher of Ysgol Rhiwabon, a school I'm very proud to lead. Especially, as many of you know, this is the school where I studied as a pupil myself, quite a few years ago now, I would add. This makes my job as head teacher a special privilege, as I owe my own education to our local community. Ysgol Rhiwabon, as you can see from our banner, has an extremely proud history at the heart of the village and its surrounding area in a different form for over 445 years. As we look to the future, we have so much to celebrate in Ysgol Rhiwabon. A vital part of that will be our Year 6 students who will join us in 2022 as they contribute to that exciting future. And this evening's online event is all about the future, about making the right decision for your child. We know just how important that decision is for our families, and it's one we take very seriously here. This is shown through our excellent transition activities and our SWAN induction programme. I hope you'll find the time to visit our school website, which includes a video of this year's youngsters enjoying their early weeks with us. In its 5th year, I'm told by the staff who run it that this year's event was bigger and better than ever, with some excellent feedback from parents and students. This is a vital way for us to ensure that our new students, when they join us, settle, make friends really quickly, and comment, as they all have this year, on the kindness of staff and students in making them feel a part of their new school. Just as important to us is the visitors to our school and the feedback they give us. They always comment on our warm welcome, our friendly, caring family ethos, where every child matters. As you tour our school, albeit virtually this evening, I know what you will see is that caring enthusiasm shining through from our staff and our students. They're the greatest asset of the school, and I know that you will see this as you take the tour with us. I also know you'll be forgiving in the sense that this is not quite the same as walking around the school and meeting everybody face to face. What it does show you, though, is the commitment staff and students have made to ensuring that this evening gives you a taste of what our school is like until we can actually meet face to face in the future. Enjoy this tour until you can meet us in person, and please don't hesitate to contact us if you require any further information about us. Our contact details are displayed on the final slide. We've also included in this short presentation a list of the videos and the information you'll find on our website under the Transition tab. Please take the time to have a look at a longer presentation from myself as head teacher, which will talk to you about what our school stands for and give you an even greater taste of all the things that we are involved in this school, both locally, nationally and internationally. Ysgol Rhiwabon is a fantastic school. We can't wait to welcome your child in September 2022. Diolch yn fawr, thank you very much.
Okay, good evening. Welcome to Ysgol Rhiwabon for your open evening tour. This is the main foyer where any parents, if you come in for a meeting or you need to drop anything off at school, this is where you'll come. Behind the glass over here is our admin team who will man the phones if you ever need to call in as parents. And if any students have any issues or any problems or need to call home for whatever reason, this is where they'd come. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take you on a small part of the tour to start with, up the English corridor and look at our additional learning needs department as well. Please feel free to ask any questions as you come through. Okay, if you want to follow me this way. Come in, come in. Let's see if I move around this way, Mike. So this is our nurture room. This is one area of the school that we've had significant investment in over the past couple of years, and this whole area is to do with our additional learning needs. So if you want to come through, you can see some of our students are working on Chromebooks. Okay, it's a flexible teaching area, so the desks can be moved around to suit the members of staff when they're teaching. It's also a great area for our students to come if they want to have a little bit more of a quiet time during break and lunchtime. It's always manned by a member of staff. And what are we up to, guys? What are we doing today? You're doing some history homework. Oh, getting ahead of the game. Good, good. And we've got one of our TAs here. Okay, Miss Moore is just supervising them. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to turn around and we're going to walk back up the corridor a little bit. I'm going to take you upstairs to Succeed. I can just squeeze past, that'd be great. Thank you. So this area, this is the bottom of the stairs, takes us up to Succeed, where we're going to go to now. Okay, you'll see similarities in terms of the decor, so it's another area that we've had a lot of money put into by the local authority. Hey, Mr. Navarro. Come in, guys. Okay, so this is Succeed. You can see newly decorated and fully open space, again, one of our flexible teaching areas. And I'm going to pass you over to Miss Navarro, who is our ALN coordinator.
So, as Mr. Bingham said, I'm Miss Navarro. This is Succeed, and I'm in charge of the Additional Learning Needs Department. It is a resource provision classroom, but we use it for a multitude of other things. So we deliver small group sessions, one-to-one sessions with focus on literacy and numeracy. We also coordinate social communication groups, and this year we're running ELSA programs as well, which is emotional literacy support assistant programs. They're delivered on a one-to-one. The room is used at lunch and break time for more vulnerable students who want a little bit of peace and quiet. So they come, they colour, they play games, they play on the iPads, they play on the Chromebooks. It's also used to meet needs of individual pupils if they need a more bespoke timetable, particularly if they're anxious. So lots of variety goes on in this room. What I will say is, although I'm on camera now, if you've got any questions at all about your students' additional learning needs, please, please, please contact the main office and we can have a discussion about that.
Okay, thanks, Miss Navarro. If you want to follow me this way, guys, we're going to go downstairs towards the library. Just before we do, just an important feature of the school, we have the school counsellor is based up here. This is for any students that can book a session. They can be referred by lead learners and form tutors, or even by parents, but also they can self-refer as well if they want to have a meeting, confidential meeting with our school counsellor. Okay. Okay. Still got everybody? Okay, so this is our school library, and this is Miss Wild, who's going to talk to you a little bit about what happens in the library.
Okay, so this is our school library where we run our reading lessons. So in year 7 and 8, we do this once a fortnight with our English teachers, and we use an accelerated reader programme. So the boys here are working on a quiz at the moment where they've read a book and they're going to be tested on their knowledge of that book and their vocabulary and their understanding. So we tend to use these to sort of give them some confidence when they're reading, and then we test them at least 3 times in the year to determine whether their reading ages have gone up or gone down, and then we put interventions in place to help them. Any further information about Accelerated Reader is available on our website, but the students quite enjoy it because there's a competitive edge to the quizzes, as you can see what they're doing right now.
You'll hear me talk about flexible areas of the school, and this is another example of that. These desks and chairs can be moved away. We sometimes have parents' evenings in here, option evenings. We have all of our staff training and staff meetings in here. And for year 7, we have a Meet the Tutor evening as well, where parents will come in and have a meeting with the form tutor within the first term of being in year 7. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to head down onto the English corridor now, if you'd like to follow me. Wait for everybody to join us. So just we're at the bottom of this corridor, and this is, I talked about investment that the school has had. This whole corridor during the summer months has been completely refurbed, repainted job, the floors have been done, and every classroom has been refurbed as well with new painting, new flooring, and hopefully you'll see that it's a really nice, vibrant learning environment. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring you into our youth workers room, and as you can see, this kind of holds our well-being hub. So we've got our nurture room, we've got Succeed upstairs, and then we've got our youth workers, which keeps it all that supportive element for our students in one area of the school. Okay. And I'm going to introduce you to Emma, who's one of our youth workers in school.
Hi, I'm Emma Jones. I'm one of the full-time youth workers based here. Myself, along with Julie and Mandy, support young people in whatever area they're a bit concerned about, worried about. We do lots of transition work as well as group work and one-to-ones. So if anybody's a bit worried about secondary school or have any issues, they can come to us and we'll try and support them. We do lots of stuff on mental health and well-being, as well as all of the topics that you can think of.
Okay, thanks for that, Emma. Okay guys, if you want to follow me this way, we're going to go back onto the English corridor. Just another area investment, 2 summers ago, the toilets, these are the upper school toilets, they were refurbed last year. Okay, bit of a squeeze. So just before we go into the English department, just to show you this area, it's called the Media Suite, and it sits in between 2 of our English classrooms, which is great because the English classes can get easy access to the computer suite for doing any media work that they want to do. It can also be booked up by other departments if they want to use the computer suite as well. Okay, if you want to come through to the English department. Hi there. Okay, so welcome to the English department. I'm going to hand over to Miss Ellison, who's our curriculum leader for English.
Hi, I'm Riley. I'm from Year 8. I love Roald Dahl books because they have lots of similes. My favourite simile in Roald Dahl is when he goes, "Violet, you're blown up like a balloon." Similes are very descriptive. If I was to say a simile right now, I'd say, "These sweets look like jewels."
Another language tool that we've been studying is onomatopoeia, and that's when a word sounds like the noise it makes, and that's even better when we pair it with a fantastic vocabulary term. Lily, can you think of any examples?
For example, these delectable cakes burst with sugar.
Hello, I'm Miss Ellison. I'm the head of English, and I've been lucky enough to work in Rhiwabon for 5 years. When we design the English curriculum, we are very intent on making sure that there's something for every pupil. So it's been designed with the intention of making sure that pupils access a wide range of texts from different periods of history. Because of that, we tend to start with a study of poetry, and Year 7s will start with a unit of work based on the Lady of Shalott, so they're exposed to language from another time frame. We then tend to go on to a modern novel, and the most common one in Year 7 is The Boy in Striped Pyjamas, which is completely different in style and setting, but it allows students to find out the genre and the type of writing they enjoy. We then tend to do a media unit of study where they look at representations of age in newspapers. We move on to a dialect study, and we end with a unit on Shakespeare. We normally find that by looking at poetry, drama and novels, every student finds one type of writing that they're passionate about, and from looking at different genres and periods of time, students comment they read things that they might not have picked for themselves and generally find that they appreciate it. That's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about English. I think there's something for everyone, and largely I think our pupils appreciate the fact they get to explore and find the area of the subject that they're most passionate about and enjoy.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Ellison. Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to move on to the next classroom now. So just while we're here, just to show you, we have got a person in school called our Parental Engagement Officer, and this is her office. She's a non-teaching member of staff, which is great. So if there's ever a student is late or is not in for whatever reason, telephone calls will come through to here, so we're big on chasing up attendance, but if there's any other issues as well, generally this is the lady that you'll be speaking to. Also on site we've got a careers officer, generally used from year 9 upwards, okay, so it wouldn't really be used by year 7s, but another important part of the school and how we support our young people. Okay. Bonjour. So if you want to come in this way, this is our French department, and I'm going to hand you over to Miss Evans, our head of French.
Bonjour, welcome to French. I am Mrs. Evans, your French teacher, your head of French at Ysgol Rhiwabon. This is the French room, as you can see from all the French flags. Some of the normal worries or concerns we have when we're coming up from school is that we haven't done French before. Do not worry, I will guide you through it. Over here you can see that during French, over our 5 years, we study lots of different films, we study lots of different books, and we study all about French culture, French language, and all about the French-speaking world. Over here, my lovelies over here are trying to build an Eiffel Tower from items that you might find around your house. And over here, we are doing a celebrated French crepe, a very key food item that you'll have in French culture. It is eaten all over Paris. It is a fan favourite. I'm hoping that nobody has any worries about French before they come up. We take it nice and slow, we all learn together, and we have a really positive environment when we are learning.
Okay, thank you everyone. Okay guys, we're going to nip next door into the next classroom. We're going to the Welsh department. Some lights on. Hi guys. Okay, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Rosa Hurd, who is our head of Welsh.
Hi, I'm Mrs. De Rosa Hurd, Noswaith Dda. I'm the head of Welsh, and Welsh is now compulsory for all students right from year 7 to 11. So all pupils in year 11 will be sitting their full course GCSE and leaving with a qualification in Welsh. In the Welsh department, one of our key things that we use is the interactive whiteboard, and it helps to engage our students. It also helps them to learn key vocabulary and key sentence patterns.
Okay, thanks very much guys. Okay, do you want to follow me this way and I'll take you up towards Mr. Evans. This is Mr. Evans, our business manager, who's going to continue your tour for you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Bingham. Good evening. If we go this way, we'll have a look at the main foyer, the main hall, and into the dining hall. If you come into the main hall, this is very important for when you first join the school in year 7. You'll be coming in through those main foyer doors there, and you'll be met by Mr. Foreman and Mrs. Wright Davis, and you'll be coming into here, and behind you on the tiered seating, that's where you'll spend your first few minutes in Ysgol Rhiwabon on your first day. People greet you, there'll be a presentation, you'll see all your other colleagues coming in, and Mr. Foreman will be introducing the day's events, and Mr. Bingham, who you've just met, will be running Swan, which I think you've been through, and then you'll be having your introduction into Ysgol Rhiwabon. This is also a very flexible space, and you'll be coming back and into the main hall, and as you can see, it's currently set up for what I call a year group assembly. So you'd have your assemblies in here, you'd have some of your form assemblies, you have a presentation on the screen, and very often you'd have messages from your lead learner or the head teacher or an assistant head teacher. We also use it for our main school productions, so we can have another 100 chairs on the floor, so we can seat at least 250 people. So when we're doing a Steddfod, or we run school drama productions, or community events in the evenings, this is the style of hall that we use. And just next door, which I'll show you in a few minutes, is the dining hall. You're coming into the main school dining hall. Come on in. Bright, cheerful. This is our main school dining hall. Obviously, full canteen down the side. Mark Davis, our chef on site, he runs the the facility on behalf of Wrexham County Council. The food is up to the healthy eating standards, good quality, excellent food. You come through here at different times in Year 7 to the rest of the school, more on a staggered lunch breaks. So it makes you a little bit easier to come and go. And very often now we've got the fire doors open and there's an outdoor seating area and picnic benches to the side, and that makes the dining area that little bit bigger in the pleasant weather.
Can I ask how a school dinner is paid for?
Yes, certainly, yeah. In Rhiwabon, and very much within Wrexham County, we use a system called Parental, which is very familiar to a lot of our primary schools within the area. And Parental is an online system, so parents can log on, they have their own identification code, and they can put money on over the internet on their child's account, and shows up the following day ready for school lunches, so there's no need to bring any cash onto site whatsoever.
Can I also ask if children qualify, are free school meals available?
Yes, free school meals are available. They're administered automatically through the Parent Pay account. They come onto the system each morning with the allowance for free school meals, and they're treated no differently to any of the pupils. So as you come through the dining hall, whether you've put the money on yourself or it becomes through the free school meal system, literally you're paying for it. There's no cash transactions, and there's no identification of children whatsoever.
Could I ask, are there staff supervising at lunch and break times?
Yes, yeah, we have a staff duty rota for break times and for lunch, and preschool and the end of day. And as we're standing in the dining hall, this is one of the areas which is supervised. So we have a member of staff who's controlling the entrance and the access into the main serving areas, and there's also a member of staff on the rear exit doors to make sure that as children are leaving the school and onto the picnic areas, that litter's in the bin and that behaviour is good. Okay, so we've seen the main hall and the main foyer and the dining area. If we go down the G corridor, we'll make our way to maths on the F corridor and Mrs. Beveridge. So we're on just entering the F corridor. This is the maths corridor, and if we look that way, then we meet Mrs. Emma Beveridge.
Welcome to the maths department, come on in. So this is one of our maths rooms that we teach maths in. We teach all year groups up here, and we have 4 classes per year group. So we teach in sets apart from year 7. So year 7 are taught in form groups, but year 8, 9, 10, 11 are taught in sets. We have a range of materials out for you that the guys are going to show you, all some puzzles and maths things. So feel free to come in and have a look.
So the blue jigsaw is about rounding to the nearest 10. So with 196, you would have to try find 200, and then you would put 200 there and 196 there. And then with the pink one, you would try find the half. So with the question, you have half of 12, so you have to find 6, and you put 6 next to that.
This is for pupils' efforts. They mark in a purple, and then we provide feedback here, tell them how they get on. And then the great thing is they get a chance to improve. So based on what we say here, they get an opportunity to improve on what they've done. And then that'll be in the next lesson. So it's like an improvement lesson. And the children really like it because they can see where their progress is from that, and then they glue it in.
Can I ask, do you set regular homework?
We do. So we set homework once a fortnight. We have a timetable for all year groups where we make sure that it's set on one day, and then a week later it's due in, so they get a whole week to be able to do their homework. What we've got laid out here for you is our Chromebooks. We have a set of Chromebooks up in maths that we use, and we access a system called Maths Watch, where we set all our homeworks on there. So there's no paper-based homeworks, it's all online. Every student gets an account where they get their homework set by their teacher, and it's marked instantly for them and feedback given. What's brilliant about the Maths Watch system as well is that they can do independent work, they can do revision, they can do anything they want. If they're struggling in class,
they can do extra outside of school. One of the questions that we always get asked is, do I need any specialised equipment for maths lessons? We recommend that all students have their own calculator because all calculators are different and the buttons are all in different places. So we would recommend you get one, and it should last you all the way to year 11 hopefully. We've laid out here a bit of our basic maths equipment that you'll need for all lessons. If you follow me, we're going to go downstairs and meet Miss Sava to look at Humanities. If you want to go down the stairs, guys, that would be brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, hello, I'm Mrs. Sava, I'm Assistant Head at Ysgol Rhiwabon, and I'm really proud to show you around our Humanities department. So if I just take you through here, you will be able to see, down this corridor here, you'll be able to see our Humanities department. We have geography, history and RS lessons that are taking place down here. Humanities is leading on some really exciting projects at the moment, all linked to transition and linked to the new curriculum. So if I take you through now to Mr. Jones, who's our curriculum leader for RS, and he'll tell you a little bit about the subject, and I will also introduce you to Mr. Heighton, who's our geography lead. You come with me? Just through here.
Okay, so Brynhawn da, I'm Mr. Jones and I'm Curriculum Leader for Religious Studies at Ysgol Rhiwabon. And the main purpose or main aim that we achieve to aim at Ysgol Rhiwabon for Religious Studies is for it to be purpose-driven in line with the new curriculum, where we want to ensure that all our learners leave ethically informed citizens of Wales and the world. So we start off in Year 7 where we take a multidisciplinary approach towards a humanities project, and we study Wales from the lens of geography, history and religious studies, building in those key skills that they will need to develop throughout their time at Ysgol Rhiwabon. We then move on to study the 6 major world religions. As you can see, the department is well resourced with a variety of artefacts which adds to the learner's experience. And then we move on to Year 8, developing key questions or key skills in terms of philosophy when we study the Holocaust, and learners are able to engage with challenging questions. Then in Year 9, we are one of the few, if not the only schools in Wrexham where we study for the GCSE. Again, learners will study 2 religions, Christianity and Islam, and then philosophy and ethics, such as life and death, good and evil, where they will engage with challenging questions such as euthanasia and abortion, the death penalty and crime. And then building on from those skills that they learn, in Year 10 they will move on to human rights and relationships. So it gives them a rounded view, and it enables them to appreciate the diverse beliefs that we have in Wales.
Good evening. So geography. Geography is, I think, the best subject in school, but I'm bound to say that. But it has been a very popular subject in Ysgol Rhiwabon and very successful. It's a brilliant subject to learn because universities do love geography at A level because it's such a broad subject. It covers the sciences. You get to a lot of art sort of elements to it where you're writing, describing, explaining. You get lots of skills in interpreting lots of data and information and presenting it in interesting ways, usually on a map because that's geography after all. But geography is a brilliant subject because it really is an everyday subject. It's in the news nearly every day, and we want to make those links between what we're studying, learning in class, to what's going on in the world. So at the moment, the Year 8s are just starting their unit of work on tectonic hazards. We're learning about the structure of the Earth, and that's actually what the girls are doing at the moment, just making this little model of the Earth. And we're doing that to lay the foundation for studying volcanoes. And even on Sunday, just gone, a volcano erupted in the Canary Islands in Las Palmas, and so we can actually study that as part of our lessons in the coming weeks. So we do that with weather, with rivers, with flooding and so on. We're looking at the physical world to see how it affects our lives. But the other thing we're doing is looking at what people do and how it affects the environment. So in Year 9, we go to look at deforestation, destroying the rainforests, and climate change. That's the big topic in Year 8. We're looking at what we're doing to destroy our environment there. So always throughout geography, we're linking the physical world with how we live in it. And we do that right through from year 7 right through to year 11.
Thank you for that, that was great. So if I take you now down to Miss Wright-Davies and Miss Gittins in the history department, if you follow me. Okay, so some of you may recognise Miss Wright-Davies. She's our link for head of year 6-7 and our link with transition. And we also have Miss Gittins, who's our teacher for history. So if you'd like to go in.
Hi, welcome to the history department. We've got a few different activities going on that I'll introduce you to in a little bit of time. What we do here at Key Stage 3 is we teach it chronologically. So we start off by teaching history skills, where we look at chronology, we look at evidence and the role that plays, not just in history, but in the wider society. We also then move forward and we look at the Battle of Hastings, and then we look at medieval history. After that, when I go into year 9, we look at the Tudors, we look at the Civil War, and then in year 9, we look at World War I, the Holocaust, and the Civil Rights Movement. And then at GCSE, we follow the WJEC course, where we look at Weimar and Nazi Germany, we look at Britain during the war, before World War II and after World War II, we look at crime and punishment through the ages, and we study coursework. We thoroughly enjoy teaching our subject. I've got some examples of written work here if you would just like to, just a little bit of a scan over sort of the length of work that we do. Over here we have got 2 of our year 8 students who are doing a timeline through the ages, which what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a link up on either our website, the app, or give it to our feeder schools, and they can work through those activities on there. Over here we've got 2 year 8 students who are looking at what would be in a ration pack and what wouldn't be in a ration pack. Again, I've got that link to a little game that you could play on that online, which I'll send over. Here we've got an example of an activity we actually do in year 7, where we use Play-Doh whilst we're doing Motte and Bailey Castle. So they create the castle based on prior learning, and then they describe it to a partner. And then behind you we've got some historical debates. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Mr. Foreman. I will be taking you for part of the tour. One of my jobs is to look after year 7 when they come to us in September. I'll be showing you the first bit about the yard, and then we'll have a look at some of the classrooms on the L block. Okay. The L block, the L block classrooms are over on this side. This is where we have lessons such as science, technology, art and music. The yard is probably one of the most important parts for the year 7 when they come to us in September. This is only for use by year 7, so at break time and lunch time they'll be supervised by myself and Miss Wright-Davies, and we will line the students up at the end of break time and at the end of lunch time. And it's a great experience for students because they actually get to meet other students on the yard, but also they get a chance to socialise with each other, have their lunch here if they need to. And over the next 12 months we are actually investing in the yard, where we'll be getting an outdoor classroom so students will be able to socialise in those areas as well. If we take a walk over now towards the L block, we'll go to technology and have a look at some of the exciting things on offer in that classroom there. This is one of the technology rooms. We have a number of technology rooms here in school. This one here is split into 2 parts. One part where the students can actually do some planning of materials, and they're actually given a brief by the technology teacher, Mr. Roberts. And then the second part of it will be the traditional side, where you'll be seeing things like the vices and the benches, and they can actually do some of the resistant material type of work as well. So what we'll do now is we'll go in and have a chat with Mr. Roberts. He will show some examples of the types of things that we do here in school, and then he'll show you some other examples of the types of activities that the students are engaged with at the moment.
Hi, my name's Mr. Roberts. I'm Head of Design Technology at Ysgol Rhiwabon. So I'm going to take you into the department now, if you follow me. We're very lucky in Ysgol Rhiwabon. We've got a fully equipped workshop and a design studio here and computer rooms to work with, which allows us access to lots of different medias and projects to do as well. So what we tend to do in design technology, we work in lots of different projects. So on this table, I've got lots of examples of projects to talk you through. And in year 7, very often I get asked what kind of projects we'll be building. So in year 7, we do projects such as the ugly dolls, and we teach them about textiles. And we do some work on woodwork as well in terms of the spinner and so forth. And there's, in a company with that, we have lots of design ideas and stuff that go with them. In year 8, as we work through, we work on projects such as the jitterbug here. So I'll turn one of these on. So that's one there. Turn that off a second. And then as we go through year 8, we then work into board games, where they design their own board games in terms of their graphical skills. And we do some work on metalwork in terms of brazing, do some work on sustainability where they work on upcycling. And then at that point, pupils can decide, do they want to continue with design technology? If they want to, that's great. And they've got 2 options. So we have 2 subjects, design and technology, which is where you're looking at projects here in year 10 and bigger projects in year 11 as part of their coursework for that. And in addition to that, we also offer an engineering course as well, and these are some of the examples of the work that we do there. As I mentioned before, we've got facilities such as we've got laser cutters, 3D printers to work with as well, and that gives us access to be able to do some really creative design work. And we also work on things like the backdrop here. You can see the computer-aided design work. We do a lot of 3D and 2D work in terms of that as well. Okay, so if you follow me now into the other design technology in the workshop here, you can see some pupils working on some rocket cars. Okay, so in here we've got pupils working on these rocket cars, and basically they are working on these kind of vehicles here that have got parts that have been made out of wood and card. And the idea is that it's a very simple brief to create a car that can travel at high speed using compressed air. So these are some examples of how we've also done it in the past, where we've used the laser cutter to cut parts out. Sometimes we made ones that have got vacuum form parts as well. And basically we're going to show you them making them now, the various processes. Some of the pupils are using the metalwork files over here, some people using the saws to cut out the axles and the glue guns and stuff like that. So whenever we finish a project, it's really good to be able to test it out. So we've created a very special track to test these out onto now. We're going to go and test some of these out.
Right, this is one of our music rooms. Students, when they start with us in obviously year 7 all the way through to year 11, where they will actually take part in music lessons. They will do music from year 7, year 8 and year 9, and then they can choose to do music in years 10 and 11. As you can see, we've got keyboards around the classroom, and we've got a range of other equipment that the students will actually take part in as well. We do pride ourselves on students enjoying music here in school, and one of our highlights of the year is the carol service, which we hold down in the village, and lots of students seem to enjoy taking part in those lessons as well. What we'll do now is we'll have a quick look at some of the other classrooms we've got in the L block. The first one we'll have a look at is the food technology room. As you can see, this is a dedicated room for food technology. When students are in here, they can be learning about nutrition, food, proper diet, but also some basic cooking skills as well.
Hi, we made some cakes earlier on, about 2 hours ago. We've been waiting for them to cool. Mark here is going to do a demonstration for the 2 girls to do their icing.
This is what the biscuits look like before they are cooked. They go in the oven for 14 minutes at 150 degrees. And we've got some in the oven that we made earlier, are ready to come out.
Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to carry on walking a little bit further down the corridor to one of our computer rooms. What's different about the school in the last number of years is that we've actually moved away from having large-scale computer rooms, and we've invested heavily in providing classrooms with computer sets. So we're now in a situation where students are able to access ICT, not just in the computer room, but actually in an ordinary classroom as well. This is Miss Thomas. She's the head of our ICT here at Ysgol Rhiwabon, and I'm just going to hand over to you and she'll be able to answer some of your questions.
Hi, welcome to ICT. So here in Ysgol Rhiwabon in Year 7, students study presentations, publications, animations, programming, and they use a variety of different softwares. So we use the Adobe Creative Suite, Google Suite, Microsoft Suite, and we also have a go with the microbits as well. At Key Stage 4, we actually offer digital technology for our GCSE, and as part of that, they have to create their own game, their own animation, and also their own website. Currently, at the moment, we've got a couple of students in here having a go at Scratch, and if you'd like to have a look at what they're doing, you're more than welcome. As part of a significant investment in the school, we actually now have moved away from computer suites that subjects need to book, and each department now has its own Chromebook trolley, so they are able to use IT in every lesson when they need to.
Okay, so if I now take you down to the art classroom and down to the science block, if you follow me. Okay, so if you follow me into the art room, here we have our dedicated art room. All students will study art in Year 7, 8 and 9, and you'll be able to see some of the beautiful pieces of work that are created through 7, 8 and 9 and also at GCSE. Okay, so if I take you now down to our science area, if you follow me. Okay, our science area is a really exciting area of the school. We have 7 science labs in total, and there's lots of practical elements to the subject. You'll be able to see some examples as you go in a moment. We also have our garden area and pond area at the back of the science department, and all our Year 7s love the practical element, as do all years in the school. So if I hand you over now to Mr. Robinson, who's our curriculum leader for science, and we've also got Miss Mountford, who's teacher for science, and Mr. Cowley Footshaw, who's also a teacher for science.
Hi, welcome to our science department. Key Stage 3 science is very heavily practical, and in Year 7, what Year 6 will find is that they experience new apparatus, new ideas, and certainly experiments which they will never have done before. And in Key Stage 4, we go on to teach double award science and also, for some students, separate science. So if you want to come in, and the students and teachers will show you all the activities we've got. So Oliver is showing us sparklers and where metals burn. Evie's showing us static charge, where she's going to be able to pick up pieces of paper with static electricity. And Alexis and Lo have dissected a heart, and the girls have something to say about it.
This is a heart. This heart is the size of your fist.
The left ventricle is thicker than the right ventricle because all the blood has to pump all the blood throughout the body.
Over here we've got some pond creatures. So we use the pond in the nature garden to collect organisms to study. So in here we've got some pond snails, we've got a little newt somewhere if you can find them. There it is there. And just here we've got a pond skater.
Evie's going to knock down the paper cups, plastic cups with air particles. Well done, Evie. And now Miss Mountford is going to set some methane gas bubbles on fire in her hand. Now it looks dangerous, but because we're teachers, we can do it really safely.
Okay, so if you follow me out and you head on down the science corridor, you'll be able to meet Mr. Bingham, who will show you the PE department.
Okay, so at this point I'm going to take you through to the sports hall, one of the newer areas of the school, and when I say that, it's 19 years old, but it still looks nice and fresh and clean. Tours are always very keen to have a look at the sports hall. Plenty of activity going on. I'll stop talking because when I get in there you'll understand why, because it's quite noisy with all the activity that's going on.
Hello, I'm Mr. Tonks and I'm the acting head of PE here at Ysgol Rhiwabon. You've seen our sports hall where we've got some of our GCSE students taking part in a variety of activities. Some table tennis, netball, badminton, and then down the far end some trampolining. These are just some of the activities that are on offer if you choose to come to Ysgol Rhiwabon. Alongside our sports hall, we have a wide range of other facilities, including our school field, where there's the opportunity to take part in outdoor sports, and our upper school gym, where you can do some gymnastics activities. The final area we have for sports is our designated seminar room, which I will show you to now. This is our aerobics studio, and in here we're able to do a variety of activities: gymnastics, circuit training, and other aerobic-based activities. Alongside all of these things that I've shown you and talked to you about, there's also the opportunity for you to take part in some after-school clubs. We run a wide range of after-school clubs, including football, rugby, netball, athletics, and basketball. There will be plenty of opportunity for you to take part in whatever sport you want to. Finally, we have the opportunity to compete against other schools in the Wrexham area, and we've always been very successful with this and pride ourselves on doing a good job when we're out and about representing the school. Thank you for visiting the PE department, and I hope to see you in September.
Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you very much for taking a tour of our school. I hope you really enjoyed meeting all of us, and we look forward to meeting you in the future.